Have you changed the timeline on this because of a consumer that is currently facing a lot of inflationary headwinds?
Caroline, over the last 3 or 4 quarters, we've been listening to our customers, and they're telling us 2 things pretty consistently. The first thing is they want price certainty. There's so much uncertainty in their lives, but on the category that they love most, which is connectivity, they want price certainty. The second thing is flexibility. No one wants to pay for things they don't use. So a combination of those 2 made us get to this point where we have this really incredible value prop for our customer. And this was always in our plan. We've had a sustained turnaround strategy for the consumer group, and this was always in our plans to do it right now.
The investors like it. Shares push higher on the news of this focus. But tell us about the costs you incur because of that. If I'm suddenly able to trade in my phone, no matter what the damage, and get a new one for free, if I'm able to lock in prices, how do you bear that from a cost perspective?
Look, largely, we are an American company. We have almost no export revenue. We are an American company. We rely on America for all our revenue. So we're very comfortable with that. Second thing on costs, look, we work with our partners on this. We work with handset partners. We work with our suppliers. So we will work to mitigate a lot of the risk on the inflationary pressure that we get. But more importantly, we want to offer customers something they really like and love. And we want to take away uncertainty in their life, at least in the category that we are involved in.
I'm really interested in your working with the partners. We are looking today at Apple, which Rosenblatt Securities is saying this is going to blow up their entire business model if they currently are exposed to the sort of tariffs you're getting from China imposed on Vietnam and where India as well. Do you think Apple will have any more pressure to increase the prices on their phones, and how do you respond?
Look, we are a big partner to Apple. It's a great relationship, and you put the best network together with a great handset. It creates a really good value prop for customers. Last year we had said that, our upgrade rate, which is code for how long people keep the handsets, is probably reached its highest point in 2024. And in 2025, you're going to see that dropping. People keep their handsets for a little over 40 months right now. We think in 2025, we're going to see that number fall a little bit. So the low point was last year. And we'll work with them to mitigate all the price and other risks that we have in the piece. But we do think there's going to be a slightly higher upgrade rate in 25 compared to 2024. And a lot of that has to do with how well we work with our partners.
Sampath, I'm going to go to your experience here because you have such a long tenure as a management consultant. You then went and ran the enterprise, the business side of Verizon before moving to the consumer side. As just someone looking at the market right now, do you have optimism that you'll be able to have resiliency for those businesses that you serve and indeed the consumers that you serve at this time?
Look, we think so, because part has to do with our category. We provide connectivity, we provide resiliency, we provide cybersecurity, both to our business customers and to retail customers everywhere. This is a core category. I mean, this is a category people don't have much choice. They're going to have to rely on the best offer they have, and that's with Verizon for the last part. So I do think it creates a very resilient business model for us, but you're going to see our customers having to zig and zag a lot more, having to mitigate risk, be more flexible where they can on supply chain and other pieces. But as far as our category is concerned, we see a lot of resiliency in that.
And investors like it. They're coming into you because you're deemed a haven in this trade. But very briefly, Sampath, what about your willingness to invest in your business right now, particularly around AI and more data ever needed? Have you got the certainty to do that?
No, definitely. Look, we play a long game here, whether it's investment in our spectrum, it's investment in fiber, whether it's investment in AI. Those are big 3 themes for us where we make really long-term investments. And we're using AI. I'll give you a sense for this current announcement. We have hundreds of thousands of our customers who call us every single day. We now, using generative AI, are able to capture every morning at 9 a.m., I get a report that tells me exactly what the sentiment was yesterday from our customers. We use that in real time to make decisions. So I think it's part of our operating model, and we want to be the world's best AI applied company. So we are very comfortable with our investment profile and long-term status for that.